We might have to use the silent count this game. On first down, Cousins flips to Cook out of the backfield, waiting for a block, and knocked down just short of the 30-yard line. And Jen Hale, welcome. You have more on Dalvin Cook. 2nd and 11. Cousins well protected, short pass at the 30. Tyler Conklin, remember Irv Smith, tight end, out for the year. Let's look at that lineup for Minnesota. Last year, 10 different.
That's their best area. So if that offensive line plays well, these skill players could have a great season.
4 wide receivers. Cousins floats one, and the catch held on to just beyond the 41-yard line. First few plays, but not necessarily on that play. Looked like he had help. Now 3rd down, quick pass across the middle. Well short of the first down. D.D. Westbrook calls that in. Red Cross Hurricane Ida relief. After the 47-yard punt, in trouble is Cousins. Dumps it off to Dalvin Cook, who works his way up the sideline. 8-yard pickup. Cook is back in. He has a moment. He dumps it off to Cook. He gets a block and gets the first down. Pickup of 9. Pay attention. Cousins completes. Madison goes nowhere. He's only 5'10", dedicated this season to his father James, who died unexpectedly late last December. As Cousins is on target. Jefferson with a first down. And the kicking game, Greg Joseph, the Viking kicker, didn't kick it all last year. 50-yard field goal is his range. They're right on the cusp of that. And that throw to Osborne. He slips a tackle and near a first down. A major tipping point here when the Bengal defense looked like they had backed up Cousins. Meanwhile, Cousins throws. Touchdown Vikings. Adam Thielen.
Just one-on-one on the outside, man-to-man coverage, push up. You get the separation, run into Eli.
It's 8 penalties, as you see. Now, part of those penalties because the Bengals defense and the crowd have been so good. Cousins has time, dumps it off to Abdullah, and it'll be 3rd and forever. But 5 is inexcusable. Cousins, plenty of time. On target. First down at the 40 to Thielen. Bengals have 3 sacks in the game. There's time for Cousins. If he can air it out. Instead he goes short. And out of bounds at a flag down back at the 22 in the area of holding. 3rd and 2. Cousins backpedaling, throws, receiver open, first down catch. Amir Abdullah. Knocked out at the 40. K.J. Osborne hauled it in, and it's 4th down. Bates with a big-time hit.
To try and win this game, and probably feels he doesn't have enough possessions left in the game.
Pressure, blitz, open, first down, and maybe more. It's Thielen for the touchdown. On a 4th and 4, Cousins connects to Thielen for a Viking score of 24 yards. Adam Thielen just keeps doing it. The undrafted free agent from Minnesota State. Made a career for the Vikings out of finding the end zone. That's Thielen. Spins across the 30. Eli Apple on the tackle. We check in with Carissa. This is taunting and helmet use. Cousins pass caught. That's C.J. Ham, the fullback, who works his way across midfield and has a first down. Cousins gets rid of it. Cook, can he get the first down? Yes. Splits a couple of Bengal defenders. Feel like they need to get some kind of points the way the Bengals have been moving the football. Over the middle. That's K.J. Osborne. Pocket protected. Open in the middle of the field. Breaking loose. Justin Jefferson. He is into the end zone. The Vikings are saying down. That's Madison, the running back, as a receiver. Bottom of your screen as Cook checks out. Cousins fires. And did he hold on at the 32? Looks like he did. Cousins in his own end zone. Quickly throws. Dalvin Cook up to the 12. Was close with Jefferson. They ended up scoring with Dalvin Cook, but it cost him a timeout. Cousins has time. He's hit as he throws. Middle of the field. It's the tight end Tyler Conklin to the 40. Third and 10, down 3, underneath. Pass complete. No timeouts as Osborne is gathered in by the Bengals at the 45. Awuzie. Cousins on the line. He held on. Osborne, the second-year receiver for Miami. Rookie, and he hauls that in, and the most important catch, his 7th grab of the game. Cousins to the sideline. Catch made at the 36. It's Thielen.
That right defensive end position this afternoon.
Thielen with 7 catches in the game. And it's caught by Thielen, but short of the first down. Field goal wins it. You could still end up with a tie game. Any score wins it. Pass he is caught, knocked down right away. It's Thielen. And Awuzie on the spot. Remember, your kicker made from 53, but Zimmer's only comfortable from inside 50. Catch made by Jefferson. He's got a first down inside the 40.